Hey guys, welcome back to Open Discussion. I wanted to go ahead and bring back the channel and actually make this more of a podcast channel talking about movies and TV shows. So if you're new to the channel, you should go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. So on today's video, I wanted to talk about Get Out versus Us and a new theory I kind of thought about, which is the checkers and chess theory. So both movies I thought were pretty well done. Jordan Peele, to me, did an excellent job with both movies. One of the big things I like about his movies right now is that I'm always guessing on what's going to happen next. I love movies like that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of movies out here that don't have that nuance that pretty much you can tell what's going to happen. There's foreshadowing that pretty much tells you exactly what's going to happen. Whereas with Get Out and Us, there was a lot of foreshadowing to different points, but you don't actually realize it until you actually get to that scene or get to that part or rewatch the movie a second or third time. But yeah, one thing I did like about his movies is that parallel. Sorry about my voice. But yeah, that's one big thing I liked about his movies. So let me go ahead and get straight to my checkers and chess theory. So for people who don't know, checkers and chess are both board games. I believe checkers is probably a more likable board game for a lot of people out there, especially people who don't know how to play chess. It's very simple, but it's not based on luck. It's still based on skill, just like chess. Both games are both based on skill, not just random luck. But they do have their own play styles. Checkers is super easy. Every piece has the same move sets. Whereas with chess, there's different pieces. You got your rooks, your knights, your queens, your kings, pawns. You got all that going on. And on top of that, everybody has their own moves. So for the greater majority of people, at least people I've met and from seeing online and polls and different things like that, there's more people who know how to play chess or can understand checkers and can play checkers better than they can with chess, right? Now, that doesn't mean that checkers or chess is a bad game. Just because more people can probably play checkers and chess does not mean that chess is a bad game at all. It has its own nuance. For a chess player like myself, I definitely prefer chess, and when I watch chess matches and different things like that, I'm able to understand it. But whereas with people who just play checkers, they may not be able to understand different moves or different fun games compared to the chess players. So how this comes about with Get Out and Us? Well, I feel like Get Out is more like checkers and Us is like chess. Now by that I mean Get Out, it's very like a lot of the meanings behind the movie. It's easier to understand for like everybody, for like any audience. Whereas with Us, it's more nuance, has more layers to actually get to more of the meanings, kind of like chess. The reason I say that is because there has been a lot of comparisons between Get Out and Us when the movie just came out. Now, mind you, I recently seen Us about like 6 or 5 days ago, so it's like not 100% like I just got done watching it. With Get Out, it's been about a year, or well, maybe about 7 months. But even still, I remember the audience reception on Get Out compared to Us. Again, with most people, I feel like most people like both of the movies for the most part. A lot of people felt like Get Out was better than Us, but from talking with people and talking with my girlfriend and different things like that, I feel like the main reason people like seem to like Get Out more compared to Us is the fact of the chess and checkers theory. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't understand this and that on Us. Therefore, Get Out is a better movie because I was able to understand it." You know, with Get Out, you can understand, oh, this movie is about, the differences in, race relations in America, different things like that. Whereas with us, it's more nuanced. Everything is more laid back. I mean, not laid back, I'd say more, what's the word for it? More vague in some areas, but if you're a big moviegoer, or if you understand where Peele is, going with his movies and different things like that, you're able to understand a lot more of the movie compared to a lot of the other people who watch the movie. So, okay, let's go ahead and talk about Get Out first and how it's pretty much Checkers. Like I stated earlier, Get Out is very easy to get the main concept at least. A lot of people came out like, okay, I understand, XYZ. I understand the relationship between race, the black people and the white people. The ending with the cops, like, the main character is about to get caught because the cop's going to see this black guy over this white girl, and different things like that. But then like the big surprise when you find out that it's his guy friend in the cop car. It's like, ooh, he's not going to get shot or sent to jail. Now, if you do want to see that though, you can definitely watch the I guess the second cut of that. They actually had like a second cut where he does go to jail. That was actually pretty good too. It made the movie way darker than the movie already was. But yeah, we'll Get Out. It was very easy to understand the meaning behind it, or at least a lot of the main meanings behind it. Now, with Get Out 2, there were a lot of leaves and foreshadowing that when you go back to see it like a second or third time, you may see other things. But for the most part, you got like the general main meaning of the movie by the end of it. So like with Checkers, once you play a game, once somebody tells you pretty much the moves, it's pretty easy for the most part to understand the concept and to enjoy the game. If you never played Checkers before in your life, like, okay, let's say you learned Checkers like when I did, like when I was like 6 or 7. Once you understand the concept, which is pretty quickly, pretty much, hey, this piece goes over here, it jumps over this, you get to the end, you get this piece, and you can jump over more. Once you understand it, you can start playing games and pretty much enjoy it like right from the start. Like, I have not met any person who learned Checkers and then started playing games and didn't enjoy it. It's pretty, it's pretty simple concept. Now, depending on who you're playing and the more advanced you get, obviously the game gets way more advanced. And because again, it just like chess, it is based on skill. Now, with us, it's more like chess. And the reason I say that is because it's more nuanced. A lot of the main meanings of us, you may not get at the beginning, or you may not actually get until you watch it a second or third time, or watch a YouTube video. Kind of like with chess, like in real life. Like when I learned chess, I want to say maybe I was like 5 or 6. I know I was like very young, and it took a minute to like understand all of the different moves, just to understand the main goal, to understand the different strategies you can use. Now, it took me a while, but after playing games of chess and understanding more and more, I was able to play the game better, and I was able to enjoy watching others play the game better. Now I can do chess puzzles and different things like that and enjoy it. Same like I can do with checkers. Now that's because I know how to play chess and I know how to play checkers. If you only grew up only knowing how to play checkers and not understanding chess, watching the chess match is going to look boring. It just is. It's kind of similar to a lot of different things, actually, like Magic the Gathering or other other card games or different things that you may not understand. However, with Magic the Gathering, even though I don't really understand it too much, I like card games and I love the artwork. So people like myself would probably still enjoy it. But for the vast majority of people who don't understand anything about maybe, online card games or just regular card games in general, and, just saw, Magic the Gathering game, yeah, they would be totally lost. And I feel like a lot of people were in that second category. They were like completely lost or semi-lost in watching us, and they didn't understand a lot of the nuances that Jordan Peele put out. A perfect example is this again. It was with my girlfriend. She came at the movie thought it was medium. A lot of parts she said she got mad at because she didn't understand what certain parts meant, this and that. And after discussing with her, me and her going back and forth, she started to like the movie a little bit more. And once we watched more of the spoilers and more of the explanations on the ending of the movie and different things throughout the movie, it really brought her around to like the movie even more because she was able to understand it more. So that's pretty much the premise of this checkers and chess theory over Get Out and Us. Get Out, I feel like, is more like a checkers. It's easier to understand and easier to digest. You can watch the movie again and again to find, little subtle meanings to different things like that. But for the most part, you get the main movie right from the start, but it keeps you guessing. It keeps you intrigued. And that's why the movie was a success. Us is still a success. It did great. Sold over 100 million within the first 7 days or something like that. So it did great. Just the reception from it compared to Get Out is definitely different, and I believe it's because a lot of people weren't able to go into the movie with that chess mindset compared to their checkers mindset. Now, to be fair too, I came into Us, after graduating in a degree, film and digital media. So in that degree, we watched a lot of different movies and talked about the nuances of the movie, what the directors were thinking, what the actors' mindsets were, what different cinematography, different foreshadowing, the pacing of movies and different things like that. So when I was watching Us, and actually when I watch any movie, I always have that in the back of my head. I knew with Jordan Peele, I knew he was going to pull something again, kind of like Get Out, with a lot of different meanings and a lot of different things that would make sense at the end of the movie, or that would make sense if you went back and watched it a second or third time. So I already came with this mindset. So for me and for people like myself who really enjoyed Us, we were definitely able to catch a lot of the different things that maybe people who disliked Us a lot or greatly preferred Get Out over Us just missed. So again, just talking about the movie and explaining different things to them, for the most part, at least from my perspective, has helped out a lot of people. Kind of again, going back to the chess and checkers theory, when I'm playing chess games against the computer or playing it in person, and I come across people who, like my friends or maybe just random people who don't know chess that much and can't tell what's going on. So when I kind of explain, I'm winning this, I got more of the main pieces. I got my queen and bishop in a perfect position right now that I can checkmate this guy in the next move or so. So usually when I explain the process of what's going on, they're able to have a greater understanding of the game, and it seems like they're more interested. So again, that's kind of where I'm getting the Get Out. It's like checkers, and Us is like chess. They're both good movies in their own right. I'm not gonna lie, I like both movies. Get Out to me is more like a psychological thriller movie, whereas Us is like a more horror / slasher film. They're definitely not the exact same genre. Both movies do have that psychological element, but with Get Out, you're not getting that many people dying really until like the very end. Whereas with Us, it's pretty much I wouldn't even say roller coaster. Pretty much a slasher film. There's a lot of deaths. There's a lot of there is a lot of killing in the movie, but they both do tie in with that psychological element in being behind Jordan Peele and having their own different meanings, the different goals, the different family structures. This is a lot of different things, but they do have that same. I do have that same chord with being psychological. Have a lot of foreshadowing that you can watch the movie a second or a third time and still enjoy it. Now, with that being said, with the Get Out versus Us, the checkers and chess theory, both movies are good. I will repeat that. Both movies are good. For myself, I'm still in a debate between which one I prefer more. Get Out was a good movie. It came out and was a surprise hit. When I seen the trailer for Get Out, I was definitely interested. And I believe I saw Get Out like the first or second weekend it came out. But I've been telling everybody about the movie, my parents, my sister. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch Get Out. You should definitely watch this movie, even though I don't really know too much about it. It just looks very intriguing. And Jordan Peele, was directing it, and I'm a big fan of Jordan Peele from some of his comedy days. So, yeah. Now, for Us, I wasn't as interested in the trailers like I was with Get Out. I'm not gonna lie. The Us trailers, I really didn't understand what was going to actually happen. I wasn't even for sure exactly if there was going to really be clones or not in the movie. So that part took me kind of out of the movie, kind of, I guess, made me slightly less interested, but I was going to watch the movie regardless because Jordan Peele, again, was directing it. He did a great job with Get Out. And from the interviews and different things I've seen from him and some of the cast members, I knew Us was going to have a lot of different elements in a movie that would be good to watch like a second, third, or maybe even a fourth time, which is, again, great because a lot of movies I watch it one time. I understand exactly everything that's going to, I understand all the nuances and pretty much everything about the movie, and I will never watch the movie again. There's a lot of movies like that. So, with Get Out being a movie I've seen multiple times from Jordan Peele, and him saying that Us has those same kind of elements, something that you can rewatch and understand more, I knew it was a movie I definitely had to see. And I'm glad I watched both. But for myself, I'm still on the fence on which one I prefer more. I do like the original story in both movies. I really like the psychological feel of Get Out, and pretty much understanding a lot of the different things that the main actor will probably going through all those elements, because I feel like I will be going through those exact same things. With Us, I like that too a lot because it was different. It was more of a horror movie, but it felt more realistic. For the most part, I felt like none of the actual cast were stupid. A lot of the horror movies, I see a lot of the cast do stupid things, trip right when the bad guy's about to get them and different things like that. So I was glad Us, for the most part, wasn't like that. Probably that's another reason I like Get Out too, because it felt more realistic in terms of how an actual person, what an actual person would do in those, in certain situations, which I liked a lot. But for both of the movies, if I was to decide on a movie for a movie night for friends, I would probably, if both of them, if all my friends or most of them hadn't watched Get Out or Us, I would probably show them Get Out first. Same like if I had a board game and I didn't know which, I wasn't for sure if they knew how to play checkers or chess, I would probably just go out with the Get Out or the checkers, just for the fact that it's easier to understand. Everybody, for the most part, could play checkers, everybody can pretty much understand the main things about Get Out right when you see it, and it's it's a enjoyable movie. Now, with that being said, maybe if I was with maybe some friends from college, I'd probably go out. I'll probably go ahead and show them Us. But for just regular people, I'll probably just show them Get Out or the Checkers, just for the fact that it's easier to understand, and I can pretty much guarantee you will have a good movie you can watch. Not saying Us just for people who are sophisticated, or it's nothing like that at all. I just feel like it has a lot of different nuances within the movie that if you miss, can take out a lot of points. To me, Us and Get Out, it's like a tie. I can definitely see them both getting an 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, 9 out of 10. I feel like they're both equal in their own rights. Whereas if you miss a lot of the nuances in Us, you may give Us, a 7 out of 10, a 6.5 out of 10, 5 out of 10, until you talk with somebody who maybe understood a lot of the different nuances in the movie, or you watch some of those YouTube videos like I've been watching too about different movies being explained. Then your love for the movie may grow a little bit. But yeah, for myself, I'm still on the fence. I believe both movies are different enough in their own genres that it's hard for me to compare both of those. It's like me comparing. To me, it's kind of like comparing like Star Wars, like episode, let's say it's Star Wars episode 5, and The Empire Strikes Back. Comparing that to Sorry to Bother You. That's another good movie. I thought Gabino directed that movie, but I guess Bootsy Collins directed that, or something like that. But yeah, it's like comparing those two different movies. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, is a sci-fi movie with your lightsabers and blaster rifles and different things like that, and taking over the galaxy. Whereas Sorry to Bother You is a call center movie that is completely different, more comedy, and yeah, I'm not going to spoil that movie on this one. I'm probably going to do another video on that one maybe next. She's talking about the craziness of that movie, but yeah, it's like comparing those two movies. They're both good movies. Star Wars is a great movie, and something like for myself, I would definitely choose the Star Wars because I'm a Star Wars fan. But if I were to play this movie with like a random group of friends, I would probably, if I had to pick between Sorry to Bother You and Star Wars Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, I would go with the Sorry to Bother You. Even though I do prefer the Star Wars, I just feel like Sorry to Bother You is easier to digest, and it's a good movie. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much my checkers and chess theory. Get Out versus Us. I feel like Get Out is like checkers. It's more easily digestible. It's a good movie, and if you haven't seen it already, I definitely recommend you seeing it. I feel like Us is more like chess. Again, just because it may not be as digestible, it's just as good of a game as checkers. It's a good movie for the most part. I guess I can find things to nitpick on both movies, but it's a good movie for the most part, and it will definitely have you guessing. But yeah, guys, yeah, that's my little theory on checkers versus chess. Again, I'm bringing back the channel, kind of making it more of a podcast type of thing. So if you like the concept or want to see how the channel grows, feel free to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. And I hope that all of you guys have a great day today. Peace.